Hey y'all, good morning. I'm Jenny, and I will be breaking parts, figure fives parts E and F. Okay, so just to sort of break this down a little bit, to continue proving that these scaffolding treatments worked, our lovely researchers spent quite some time running some extra experiments on the rats. So they performed these behavioral exams to prove that neurological recovery on all four groups of the rats, so the sham group, which were just the regular, fully cognizant rats, the TBI group, which are the rats affected by the independent variable, which is the traumatic brain injury, and the experimental treatment groups 3D-CCE and 3D-CCIE. They recorded the amount of times that the rats crossed the desired site and compiled the results from each group into graph 5E. Same idea here in 5F, as you can see here. However, the researchers chose to record the time spent within the target zone instead, and they kind of show that as a percentage. So you can kind of assume that obviously the healthiest rats, aka, the sham group, would have the highest results for both. And yeah, you can pretty much tell from the graphs. And a little bit similar to like same with the TBI group, you can also kind of assume that they should have the lowest results for both, in which case they do. So the experimental groups are really, what we're trying to look at here. Um, we can see that in both graphs, the experimental groups have much higher results than the TBI, which is amazing, and it's exactly what we want to see. However, we're even more interested in, the little asterisks and the hashtags on top of both experimental groups as results. So we're kind of looking at the orange and red bar graphs here. So for both treatments, we can see that they've got two asterisks. This kind of indicates that the p-value is less than 0.01 against the TBI, which is great. This just means that they're statistically proving that they're an extremely effective treatment against the TBI group. The red group, however, you can kind of notice the 3D-CCIE has a little bit of a hashtag on top of the bars in both graphs, which is kind of also denoting a significance in the p-value versus the orange group. And so to sort of sum it up a little bit, this basically just means that the IE group is statistically proven to work better than the orange treatment. These tests proved that both experimental treatments did a phenomenal job. However, the 3D-CCIE did just an eensy bit better than the other 3D-CCE group. Thank you.